From center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's Game 1 of the 2017 Intercity League semifinals between the number 2 seed Blue Sox and the number 5 seed Somerville Royals. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Rob DeFranco will join me in a little bit, hopefully. The Blue Sox enter play against the number 5 seed Somerville Royals, who upset number 4 Wakefield in 2 games. In fact, both lower seeds, number 6 Reading, upset number 3 Watertown in 2 games. Both lower seeds sweeping their first-round series to get to the semifinals, and Reading is taking on Andre tonight at Pine Banks. The Blue Sox, well, to put it lightly, dominated the Somerville Royals during the regular season. They swept them 4-0 and won games by the scores of 13-1, 17-1, 13-1, and 9-5. Blue Sox put up 3 of their highest run totals, their 3 highest run totals of the season in one game against the Somerville Royals. So you know, after building some confidence by sweeping the higher seed Wakefield, you know, Somerville is motivated to get some revenge tonight, and this is the starting lineup they will send to the plate against Blue Sox starter Matt Karras. Jake Santola is going to lead it off at first base, followed by Sean Cameron at short. John Collette is the DH. Wagner Gomez is at third. George Crowley is behind the plate. Rob Caggiano is in left. Adam Johnson is at second. Luke Ronke is in right, and Nick Valdario rounds out the lineup in center field. On the mound for the Somerville Royals is Soren Hansen, the former Lexington Blue Sox. He actually pitched 3 innings back on Thursday and is back on the mound after 3 days rest after getting the win. 3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts in Game 1 against Wakefield. For the Blue Sox, their lineup looks like this. Jeff Costello going to lead it off in right field, followed by Aaron Barboza in center. Probably the 3 fastest base runners in the league leading off for the Blue Sox. Ross Curley at short, Julian Alvarez in left. Dan Graham is the DH. Dorian Rojas is at first. Justin Silvestro is at third. Thomas Russo is at second, and John Putras rounds out the lineup behind the plate. As the Blue Sox get their final pep talk from Rick DeAngelis before taking the field. And to the tune of Dropkick Murphy's rendition of Amazing Grace as requested by Matt Karras, here come the Blue Sox in the pinstripes and the Carolina Blue. Matt Karras, been the ace and the leader of this Blue Sox team since his first season in 2009. This year was 2-0 with 1 save and 16 innings pitched. A .438 ERA, allowed 18 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of which were earned. Walked 3 and struck out 12. Rob DeFranco is in the booth, and actually I considered hip-checking you for Mike Hart when I saw Mike Hart was making an appearance tonight down from his successful campaign with the Hamilton Cardinals of the Inter-County League in Ontario. But this has got to be this is always an exciting time. The Blue Sox, I mean, like, even when you've made the playoffs for 23 consecutive years like the Blue Sox have, it's still very exciting.
Absolutely. Every summer it's the same time. You feel the boys getting together. The chemistry finally builds after the whole year. And nonetheless, it's playoff baseball. I mean, this is why you play all season.
And the Blue Sox last year faced the Somerville Royals in the first round and lost Game 1 on just a night where their bats were completely silent that night. And then Drew Leanhouse happened the next night at Trum Field with that no-hitter, and then the rest is history as the Blue Sox lost that first game and then went 8-1 the rest of the way in the playoffs. So here is Jake Santola, the first baseman, to lead off things against Matt Karras. The first pitch is swung on and missed at 8:07. We're underway.
Expect to see a lot of mix between the 2-seam and the cutter tonight from Matt Karras. I'm sure you fans have been following all season and tend to know Karras' repertoire, but has the 2-seam fastball, the cutter, the slider, and a changeup, so all of which are around the zone and led to his such successful stats this season.
A swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Jake Santola, to begin the ball game. Looks like Karras has got it going early.
Yeah, a lot of good movement on all three of those pitches there.
These are the two teams with the highest team batting average in the ICL during the regular season, and the Royals continue to pour it on in the opening round series against Wakefield. That's ball one to Sean Cameron, the shortstop. Inside, 2-0. In the 2 games against Wakefield, the Royals batted .315 with 3 homers and 14 RBIs. And just as I say, Karras looks locked in to begin the game. He's behind the next batter, 3-0. Ball 4.
3 strikes, then 4 balls. So, man on first, this brings up J.C. Collette of a Suffolk-ridden Somerville Royals team under player coach James McConville.
Collette was 4 for 8 with 1 homer and 4 RBIs.
Coming off a pretty hot series then, obviously.
Yeah, but not even the hottest of all the Royals, as that is in there for strike 1, and Karras is back in the strike zone, 0-1. Brian Campbell batted .571 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs in the Wakefield series, and he's not even in the lineup tonight. Down and away, 1-1.
Was he always on that team the whole year?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
We didn't see him much, but of course, you know, not everybody plays every game in the ICL.
Tough commitment for some of these guys coming after their jobs, and some of them have kids, families, etc.
This is fouled off, and it's 1-2. So the Blue Sox, as I was saying in the open, dominated the Royals, to put it lightly. What was the team's mindset like going into these games? Like feeling like, oh, we can handle them like nothing. Like how do you really feel when you go into a game against a team you've just been beating up all year?
It's really tough to make those type of reads. You kind of just have to take it game by game because, I mean, I never saw them play Wakefield.
Runner goes, breaking ball misses inside, throw down to second, not in time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I never saw them play Wakefield, but they take 2 games straight from Wakefield, who's a pretty good team, so it's just kind of any given Sunday type baseball. And, yeah, we've handled the Royals pretty well this season. I think we swept them in the season series.
And we put up our 3 highest single-game run totals of the season, all against the Royals, 117 spot and 213 spots.
Yeah, well, and then again, it's playoff baseball. Everyone's coming to play. Everyone's super focused. Every base matters, stealing bases, getting guys over.
As we just saw Cameron do.
Things like that.
Breaking ball misses inside, full count.
In the 7-inning games, too, it just applies that much more pressure, especially with the wood bats. So manufacturing runs, as easy as it may have seemed in the regular season, in the playoffs, it's a whole different story.
And a very dangerous hitter on deck in Wagner Gomez, too. And that hits him in the small of the back. And so after a 3-pitch strikeout to begin the game, it's a hit, a walk, a stolen base, and a hit batsman. First and second for, again, the dangerous Wagner Gomez, who earlier in one of the games here at Lexington High, crushed a home run to deep right.
Yeah, switch hitter, had some minor league experience, and like we saw him pitch the other night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
He wasn't.
So he's a pretty good athlete, nonetheless.
Yep. Gomez batted .375 with 2 RBIs in the Wakefield series. Throw over to second, and not in time. Tries to crowd him inside there, and it's 1-0.
See if Matty can get us a ground ball here.
Karras did not face the Royals during the regular season. Foul tipped into the mitt, and it's 1-1.
Strong swing there from 27, Gomez.
And And a strong fastball there, too, from
some pop on that one.
Karras last year in the postseason took the loss in Game 1 of the opening round series. This is popped up to the left side, and it'll be Silvestro making the basket catch for out number 2, and that is a big out as they retire Gomez.
Looks like he tried to sit on it, go opposite field, but just under it and induced the fly ball.
Karras took the loss in the opening playoff game last year against Somerville, went 3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. But came back with 2 very solid outings against Wartown and Andre afterward. George Crowley will try to prolong the inning. And that misses inside for ball 1. Trying to get that cutter in on the left-handed batters here. But they're not chasing just yet. Popped up.
Looks like it'll stay in play.
This is going to stay in play. Putty. And called him off as Rojas right behind him to make the catch. That's always a tough play for a catcher to make, or anybody, because it's arcing towards the dugout, and we've seen plenty of times this year it comes back towards the plate. And great job by Dorian to bail him out. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. After half an inning, Royals nothing, Blue Sox coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. The pitcher tonight for the Somerville Royals is Soren Hansen, former Blue Sox reliever, and as I mentioned, he pitched 3 innings back on Thursday night against Wakefield, so coming right back on 3 days rest to play Game 1. And Rob, you have a little bit of a scouting report on Soren.
Yeah, Soren Hansen, he attended Colby College, which was in my conference, so I saw a great deal of him. He played since his freshman year, kind of their ace just throughout his whole career. Features a pretty slow motion with a very extremely looping curveball, and he has that slow motion, long arm, and so it makes his fastball kind of seem a little bit more explosive than it is because he really complements the loopy curveball. So he's really had a number for us Bobcats up north for my tenure up there.
So here is ICL batting champion Jeff Costello to lead things off against Soren, and there's the fastball that gets in there for strike 1.
Very smart pitcher, knows how to work around hitters. I wouldn't say they beat us. We handed it to him most of the time, but he was always the kid who gave us trouble, and then once we got to their bullpen, we'd fortunately
there's that big looping curveball you were talking about, and it's 0-2.
Like I was saying, but yeah, sometimes they'd pitch him in the 7-inning game of the conference series, so they'd try and sneak a win, But he played some Futures League baseball for Martha's Vineyard, and he just knows how to pitch, this kid.
Outside for ball 1. Somerville bench like that pitch, but not so much. So you got two of the three fastest men in the ICL leading off the lineup for the Blue Sox in Costello and Barboza. What challenge is that going to present for the Somerville defense? Probably the biggest of the season, really.
Absolutely. There's a looping curveball. That'll get him.
That'll just freeze you every time. Front door breaking ball, and not much even a great hitter like Costello can do with that one, as it's out number one. And here's Aaron Barboza, who's really come on the last part of the season.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned a few broadcasts ago, he got his first hit in like a month. Granted, he was absent, but
but
he started to turn it on with some multi-hit games and some swipes.
It was amazing that he had his success against one of the best pitchers in the ICL, Bill Sullivan, who gave us fits for so long.
Oh, my goodness.
And as the pitch to Barboza's upstairs for ball one. But the funny thing is, the Reds, got swept by the Bulldogs in their opening round series, and Sullivan didn't pitch at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I was stunned.
Well, he did have a lot of work on his arm throughout the season, and didn't he pitch a pretty long game against us before that?
He pitched 9 innings against us back in the middle of June, I think, because that's strike one.
No, but I mean recently.
Yeah, 6 2/3 innings.
6 and 2 with like 100 pitches, I thought.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly.
So pretty tough turnaround for the kid. I mean, he battles.
Can't get that breaking ball over, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, not afraid to use the looper in any count. Pretty confident in it, can get it over for a strike. So we'll see that mixed in and complementing that fastball. There's a changeup.
Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Very repeatable delivery as well, so kind of lulls you to sleep. He's actually a two-way guy at Kobe. He played for little first base. Yeah.
2-2 the count, and the pitch. Low, ball 3. When you have a pitcher that throws basically an eephus pitch like that, you're so tempted to wait forever and you want to crush it over the fence, but it doesn't always work out that way.
No, absolutely not.
So full count to Barboza with Ross Curley on deck. Hansen winds and delivers the payoff pitch. On the inside corner, strike 3 with a fastball. And that's what you're talking about. You got that the slow off-speed stuff, and then that fastball just creeps in on you. And
you can really notice how slow his windup is, and it just kind of flies out of his hand. It's not even that hard velo-wise, but it looks that much harder.
And it's not just his windup, but it's really like we're playing in slow motion. He doesn't have the fastest pace in the world. You got the slow windup, you got the slow off speed stuff, and then boom, fastball in the inside corner, strike 3, good night.
Right.
Here's Ross Curley, and he pops this one up into shallow right, and this will be caught by the second baseman Johnson for the out that retires the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And after one complete, Blue Sox nothing, Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, Matt Karras is always a fast warmer and a fast worker. Probably the antithesis of Soren Hansen. As we go to the top of the second, Rob Caggiano, Adam Johnson, and Luke Ronke due up.
Caggiano with the big leg kick.
And that's a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. We talk about, Soren Hansen, not having, the highest velocity. Karras will top out in the low to mid-80s, but with his windup, as this is into right center field, this is going to go down for a long time. On his way to second is Caggiano, and he has a leadoff double.
You know, off the bat, I thought that was going to bleed in there and just loop in for a base hit, but that carried into the gap, so that's a double
Tell me
for
about it. That looked
Caggiano.
like just a bloop single, but
Yeah. Fresh cut grass out there in the outfield, so.
So for the second consecutive. Oh, sorry, you were saying.
No, I was just saying, I was noticing BP today, freshly cut grass here at center field, so the ball must have got an extra little roll to it.
So for the second consecutive inning, the Royals have a runner in scoring position, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Adam Johnson lay one down here.
Yeah, I saw him run over to head coach over there, James McConville, so
and
yeah,
now,
it looks like he will.
Yeah, now Karras spins back and looks the runner back. So what kind of pitch do you tend to throw to try and get a bunter to pop it up?
You know, I don't.
Well, like right there, it goes right back to Dorian. Jam him with that one.
Well, I mean that works, doesn't it? But
yeah.
I mean in that scenario, personally, I just try and let the two-seamer do some motion and let them have their way with that. But honestly, you just kind of got to let them have it. As much as you want to retire them, you just got to try and throw a strike. You know, inside part if you can. And
well, yeah, it looks like he jammed it with a two-seamer right there too. And
so
here's Luke Ronke, runner on second now, one down. This is chopped in front of the mound, and it's a foul ball for strike one. Ronke batted 1 for 5 in the series against Wakefield. And he swings and misses to make it 0-2.
Good pitch there from Karras. Looked like a cutter going away from the hitter. Got him out on his front foot.
Ronke looking to trade places with Caggiano, get the first run home as this is down the line to left field, and this will be in front of Alvarez, and it will be fired back into the infield. It's an RBI single.
Caggiano limping across home plate. It looks like he must have pulled something or tweaked something there.
Yeah, he was limping coming into second base as well. But the Royals take the lead, and it's 1-0. Great, and an 0-2 pitch, no less.
Yeah, curveball cutter, caught too much of the plate and just right in the wheelhouse there. Dropped it down left field line for a single. And that scores the run.
So Royals up 1-0, and that'll bring up Nick Valdario, the speedy center fielder. And he chops this one up the middle. Curley, only play will be to first, and they got him.
Really quick. Valdario down the line, just got him by half a step.
He's a high schooler, too. So the lineup turns over for Jake Sintolo. And hey, the Blue Sox have come from behind before and come from behind against the Royals before, so we'll see what happens here. They were down 5-1 to the Royals in a game earlier this season before they had their biggest inning of the year.
Really?
Yeah, an 8-run inning to take a 9-5 lead. This is driven deep to left. Back goes Alvarez, and it is over his head, down to the base of the wall. In to score is Ronke, and it's 2-0.
Another hanger there. Breaking ball, too much plate, and Sintolo was all over it. Drive it off the base of the wall there, so another double.
2 doubles in the inning, and the Royals are up 2-0.
Jumping on some first pitches there.
Here's Sean Cameron, who walked on 4 pitches last time up, and he takes on the inside corner for strike one. So the Blue Sox having to play catch-up. Already in the second inning, down 2-0. This is grounded to the left side, scooped up by Silvestro. Sets, fires to first.
Great play there by Silvestro, picking up the short hop to end the inning and the threat.
But the damage has been done as the Royals pick up 2 runs on 3 hits and leave a man at second. After 1.5, Royals 2, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.lexingtonlocalsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. You can also subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. So after the injury to Rob Caggiano, we have some changes for the Somerville Royals, and we'll relay them to you in a second, as Julian Alvarez will lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Soren Hansen with the slow wind and the pitch, and that's fouled away for strike one.
Outside fastball right on the corner there.
So Caggiano's out of the lineup. Adam Johnson's moved from second base to left field. Jake Santo's moved from first base to second base. And player manager James McConville is in Caggiano's spot in the lineup at first base. Ball one, and it's 1-1. Obviously, you're a pitcher, but like when you have a slow working pitcher and a slow moving pitcher like Hansen, how do you approach him as a hitter? It's just seems.
Wow, good leave there on changeup, but
especially when you're a power hitter. Like
I'm a pitcher.
Alvarez.
I mean, so it's kind of tough to grab my personal opinion on it, but I would say try not to read into the delivery. Just kind of keep seeing the ball. That's really all you can do. Just watch the baseball and read it. Elevates
high fastball there. Swing and a miss, 2-2. And the other thing is, you are a pretty fast worker yourself, so you can't even speak I'm from his school of thought, because So
I mean, like I said, I'd say, at Bates we had sports psychologists, actually the Boston Red Sox psychologist, come in a few times. Bob Tewksbury, who was the father of one of my captains, and he would come in and say the first thing you got to do is see the baseball. So I would say that's the first and foremost. You just got to see the ball out of his hand. Can't do anything until you see it. So. And that goes for just about any pitcher. As cliche as it sounds, it's true.
Alvarez batted .258 in the regular season with no homers, surprisingly, and 11 RBIs.
He did have one in the first game of the season against the Tournament of Champions.
But that doesn't count in the regular season stats. So. 2-2 once again. Low ball 3.
Try to mix in a low changeup. Really falls off the rubber to the left side, Hansen. But it's funny just seeing him again, I feel like I can't not see this kid pitch. After 4 years of college, seeing him every Friday.
Payoff pitch to Jules. Over his head, and it nearly came back into the zone. And the Blue Sox have their first base runner. That would have just been unfair if Alvarez had been called out there. That I don't think the home plate umpire would have heard the end of it. But it is a leadoff walk for Alvarez, and that brings up Dan Graham, and what a year he had, crushing 3 homers and 9 RBIs and an OPS of 1438.
Yeah, he comes in late and he does his damage. He carries it on through the playoffs.
And he takes down and in ball 1.
The king of approach here in Lexington.
The king of clutch as well.
That's right. Sees a changeup in there for a strike. Good work there by Hansen going the 1-0 changeup.
Grammer was batted .571 with 2 RBIs against the Royals in the regular season. Throw over to first, and Alvarez is back standing. Graham had 4 doubles and 1 triple against the Royals. 1 double. I was looking at the wrong columns. In there for strike 2, 1-2. Wouldn't it be something if you had 4 doubles and 1 triple against one opponent in 3 games? 1-2. Hansen probably going to try and bury a changeup here.
Yeah, maybe backdoor curveball. Nope, goes inside the fastball.
He fouls it off.
Just barely nubbing it is Graham.
This is what I'm sure when you have a slow worker like Hansen, this is what you need to do. You need to force him to get into the stretch so you can speed up his delivery and see the ball a little better, have get your timing down better. And now Graham will call time.
definitely an advantage seeing Hansen out of the stretch for the hitter.
Royals leading 2-0 on 2 runs in the top half of this second inning. Hansen with a 1-2 count to Dan Graham, and now Graham calls time again. Well, going into the stretch hasn't slowed down Hansen's pace that much. May speed up his delivery, but it doesn't slow down his pace. It doesn't speed up his pace. Now he comes set. The pitch, breaking ball. Great job of waiting on it and spoiling it.
Great matchup here.
Sometimes that's all you can do when you have a big looping breaking ball. Hope to spoil it and stay alive, and hope the pitcher will cave and throw you a fastball somewhere.
It's all about approach. This would be a good matchup right here. There's a 1-2 pitch coming.
Breaking ball again, but that slipped out of his hands and went high, and it's 2-2. Couple of long at-bats here to begin the second inning. Alvarez got to 7 pitches before walking. This is the 7th pitch to Graham. And he checks his swing, and a fastball's up and away.
Almost got him to bite there on the fastball. The elevator.
Hansen threw 11 pitches in the first. He's thrown 14 pitches to the first 2 batters here in the second.
Another 3-2 count here for Hansen.
Can he put Graham away? He was unable to put Alvarez away. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw down to second. And it's nearly airmailed into center field. Graham, yeah, that tied him up inside. Alvarez does get a stolen base, and they'll stay out of the double play, but now there's 1 down.
I don't know who the catcher is, but he was
Crowley.
talking to home plate umpire a little bit. Thought Graham got in the way of his throwdown.
Now Crowley out to have a word with Hansen as Dorian Rojas steps to the plate. Dorian batted .385 in the regular season with 10 RBIs. And against Somerville was 2 for 6 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. Runner in scoring position. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And again, time is called by Rojas. And the Blue Sox batters are sending a message to Soren certainly here.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of time calls and just trying to get in his head or just make him think a little bit.
Misses upstairs, ball 1.
I don't know if that was an off-speed pitch.
Yeah,
or
that looked off-speed. That didn't look
been.
like his fastball. Never want to throw a high changeup ever, even if it's out of the zone.
Yeah.
So 1-0. On the misses outside, 2-0. And a rare hitter's count here for the Blue Sox. Low ball 3. This kind of looks like the intentional walk to try and set up the double play. Got Silvestro on deck, although Silvestro is a lefty.
.3-0 count. We'll see what Rojas can do with it.
Now Hansen is ready. And the pitch, taken all the way for strike 1. I figured he was going to take there. 3-0, and he's already thrown 18 pitches this inning to that point. Make him throw another one. Wear him down. And the guy's on 3 days rest, too.
Yeah.
Three and 1. The pitch, fouled off, and it's a full count. 3rd straight full count for Soren Hansen. Somerville Royals advancing to the semifinals for the first time in their brief franchise history. They've made the playoffs both years they've existed.
Pretty good team at making some noise in the playoffs.
Yep. Caught Wakefield by surprise, certainly. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Looked like a change up there low.
2 down now.
Silvestro.
4 strikeouts already for Hansen. And here's Silvestro, Justin batting .213 with 7 RBIs in the regular season. Against Somerville was 6 for 18 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. That's a team he fared by far the best against this season. And time is called again by Silvestro.
It's probably the 4th or 5th time call this half.
I know, right? .21 pitches this inning for Soren Hansen. And that's swung on, missed for strike 1. You know, when we saw Bill Sullivan pitch last week or the week before, you know, the Blue Sox were struggling offensively, but they were making him throw a lot of pitches, and eventually they got to him. Maybe we'll see the same thing tonight. We're gonna have to, as the Blue Sox are trailing 2-0 here in the second. This is lined down the first base line, a foul ball. Yeah, that was foul. That was definitely foul.
Was it?
Yeah, that
close.
Looked. And it's 0-2 to Silvestro.
Hammered down the line, tailing right. Just foul.
So 0-2 to Silvestro. Hoping to not strike out here, put a ball in play. There hasn't been a ball put in play this inning. It's been a walk and 2 strikeouts.
Look at some sort of off speed or high fastball. Change up blown away.
And now they'll throw over to second.
Whoa.
And the ball gets away from the shortstop, Cameron, but not far enough for Julian to try and chance it.
Almost hit Julian in the head, it looked like, as he went back to the bag.
The 0-2. Right down the middle for strike 3. Silvestro doesn't like the call, but that looked good from here, and the side is retired.
Outside fastball caught him staring.
3 strikeouts in the inning for Hansen. He has 5 already. After 2 complete, Royals 2, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Top of the third, as it'll be the heart of the order due up for the Royals. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters, John Collette, Wagner Gomez, and George Crowley. Collette was hit by a 3-2 pitch in the first. Karras back to work, and the pitch is in there for strike 1. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 men left for the Royals. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left for the Blue Sox. That's below the knees, and it's 1-1. Karras has thrown 30 pitches now to this point. And this is into right center field. This has a chance to get down, and it will get down. It'll split Barboza and Costello. On his way to second is Colette with the third double of the evening for the Royals. That's going to bring Rick DeAngelis out to the mound. This is not the outing that I'm sure the Blue Sox expected from their ace, but it's eerily similar to Game 1 of the series last year against Somerville. Karras was on the mound, got rocked a little bit, and the Royals ended up winning that game. Karras has been leaving a few too many pitches over the plate. So here is Wagner Gomez. Gomez popped up to third in the first. And at the time we said that was a big out, but little did we know what was to come from the Royals offense, as that misses down and in with a slider for ball one. Another double for the Royals, Rob. The third of the game. John Collette leading it off with a double. Misses down and in again, 2-0. And already there is action in the Blue Sox bullpen. It's like Tony Anino.
Kevin Scanlon.
Kevin Scanlon. This is smoked over the Royals fans on the first baseline bleachers, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, you know, at this point, I wouldn't give him anything good to hit at all. You got the first base open. No harm done in letting Wagner get first base, in my eyes.
Catches the inside corner there. Bared the cutter under his hands, and it's 2-2.
Wagner glaring back at the home plate umpire, did not like the call at all.
You know, there's been a couple of complaints about the strike zone, but it's looked pretty good from here anyways. Karras cycling through the signs again. Now comes set. And the pitch popped up over the screen and out of play. An official broadcast? I guess it is. 2-2. Nobody out, runner on second here in the third, and a 2-0 lead for the Royals. Karras comes set, and the pitch popped up into right field. Gomez slams his bat and actually did not travel nearly as far as I thought it was going to, as Rojas makes the catch for out number one.
No, that pitch was very well executed pitch there from Karras. Got a cutter really inside. Sawed him right off.
So Gomez has popped out twice, and that'll bring up George Crowley, the catcher. And this is popped up. Karras, Puttress, and it'll be Puttress making a bit of a snow cone there.
Wow. Underrated, very good play there from Puttress. That ball was coming back into play. Almost tripped over his own helmet, but makes a catch one-handed, falling backwards towards the mound.
So here's James McConville getting his first at-bat of the game after taking over for Rob Caggiano, who pulled up lame, running out a double, and then coming home to score in the second inning. McConville, the first baseman. And that's a slider that misses down and away for ball one. Fouled off, and it's 1-1.
Slapped a cutter foul.
McConville was 1 for 4 with a run scored in the Wakefield series. Smoked into center field. In comes Barboza. He dives.
Makes the play. What a catch.
What a play to save a run for Matt Karras. Aaron Barbosa.
Tailing away from him, just lays out and makes the catch. Talk about speed, that kid. Saves a run.
So, an exciting finish to that inning. Nothing comes of the leadoff double. And after 2.5, still Royals 2, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues tomorrow night when the Blue Sox travel to Trump Field to take on the Somerville Royals in Game 2 of the Intercity League semifinals. Watch it live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel. Blue Sox still looking for their first hit of the ball game, as it'll be Thomas Russo, John Puttress, and Jeff Costello due up here in the bottom of the third against Soren Hansen, who has 5 strikeouts through 2 innings.
This is yet to allow a hit.
Yet to allow a hit, had a leadoff walk to Alvarez, but that's it.
See what Russo can do here to lead things off in the bottom of the third.
First pitch to Russo.
Knobbed.
Pop-up, caught by the pitcher, Hansen.
Kind of a funky play there, just knobbed right off the inside of Russo's bat. Backpedaling with Soren and easily makes the catch.
So 1 pitch, 1 out. That brings up John Puttress. Putty batted .250 in the regular, 219 in the regular season. And he takes strike 1 with a fastball.
Really good at dotting that outside fastball on the righties.
In his only game against Somerville this year, though, he went 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs scored. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Well, Hansen had a pretty taxed inning lasting 24 pitches, but got the first batter on 1 out, and now is ahead 0-2 of Putty. And the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, missed, strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Soren Hansen, and there's 2 down.
Quick work there for Hansen, these first 2 outs, and drops the curveball on Puttress, swung right over it.
Well, the Blue Sox are going to get a 2-out rally going. This is the guy they want at the plate, Jeff Costello. Although he struck out looking, leading off the bottom of the first. Breaking ball misses for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Fastball up and away. It's 1-1.
I think that would have been a ball, Sam.
Oh, yeah. It was way out of the zone. Shoulder level and off the plate. Swing and a miss. Fastball again. 1-2.
Really find his groove here is Hansen. You don't really want to allow him to get into that rhythm. So we'll see if Costello can battle here.
1-2 pitch. Down low, ball 2. Breaking ball, catches the inside corner for strike 3. That's the second time he's retired Costello on a front door breaking ball. Side retired, 7 strikeouts for Soren Hansen through 3 innings.
He's really grooving right now, Sam.
Absolutely. After 3 complete, Royals 2, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Bottom third of the order due up for the Royals here on the top of the 4th. Adam Johnson, Luke Ronke, and Nick Valdario. Royals up 2-0. And the Blue Sox yet to have a hit. Just the one base runner, the walk leading off the second by Julian Alvarez.
Such a quick worker warming up. The hitter wasn't even ready to hit.
I know, right? Like I said, stark contrast between Karras and Hansen, but Hansen has the upper hand right now. Johnson takes upstairs ball 1. He popped up to first. His last time up is down the left field line. Foul ball. Just out in front of that one, and it's 1-1.
A lot of his balls staying up in the zone tonight.
This is a little looper into center field, and that will be caught by Barboza. That didn't look that deep at all.
Again, I thought that was going to flare in and just kept carrying, so.
Karras has thrown 43 pitches to this point.
Scanlon's still moving in the bullpen there.
28 for strikes. Yeah, Kevin Scanlon's still warming. Meanwhile, in the other Intercity League semifinal, and last check, Redding, as that's on the outside corner, Luke Ronke for strike 1. Redding was up on Jared Frenny and the Chiefs 1-0 in the 4th. Ronke singled home a run his last time up.
Takes a cutter on the upper outside part there. Strike 1.
Strike two, actually.
Excuse me.
And actually, that looked like the same spot as the pitch that Costello swung and missed his last at-bat, so maybe that is a strike for this umpire. Swing and a miss. Change up there.
Sinking change up. 2-seam fastball there. Got him. Swung over it.
2 down, only the second strikeout for Karras, and since the first batter of the game. So that'll bring up Nick Valdario. Valdario grounded out to short his last time up. Karras looking for a much-needed 1-2-3 inning. And he gets a 2-seam fastball in there for strike 1. Downstairs, 1-1.
Valdario, not much movement in between pitches, just kind of stands there in the box.
Popped up, out of play, and it's 1-2. Blue Sox need to wake up the bats here, as Aiden Freeberg is warming up the bullpen, but he is not on the active roster, so we won't be seeing him. Just getting some work in. Popped up into foul ground. Silvestro chasing, but that's out of play. He slides to break his momentum. Yeah, it was a tough break to see Aiden out for the year this year. He's been such a big part of the rotation the past 3 years, the WPI man, and hope to have him back next year.
Absolutely. Oh, Karras wanted it. Heading off.
That was definitely up and in, though, and it's a full count. That was...
Don't know where that one missed, Sam.
I'm pretty sure that was up and in, though. That one he gets. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game for Karras. After 3.5, we're halfway home. It is still the Royals 2 and the Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, the show is only on PS4.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So here's Aaron Barboza to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th as the Blue Sox look to wake up the bats against Soren Hansen, who struck out 7 through the first 3.
Still no hits?
Still no hits, just the 1 walk by Alvarez in the 2nd. And anticipating a bunt, Gomez is way in at 3rd. That's
a fastball
on the
in.
inside corner for strike 1.
That had some gas to it.
Blue Sox bench cheering on Barboza. And he does get the bunt down, but it's foul, and now will be forced to hit. 46 pitches to this point for Soren Hansen, 30 for strikes. 0-2 the count.
Consistently gets ahead of hitters, throws all his pitches for strikes, and nonetheless resulting in a great appearance so far tonight.
He's faced 1 over the minimum, and now Barboza calls time.
Starting to feel a little sense of urgency here from the Blue Sox dugout.
Mm-hmm. The 0-2. Popped up, foul, and if it wasn't an official broadcast before, it is now. You know, we were, in that second inning, we were talking about, okay, well, this is what the Blue Sox have to do against a guy who is on 3 days rest, make him throw a lot of pitches. They made him throw 24 pitches in the second, then they only threw 9 in the third.
Yeah.
So the Blue Sox need to work the count more here, and Barboza gets a good start by fouling that one off. And he gets called out on strikes here. 1 down.
Great job at locating that fastball.
8 strikeouts for Hansen. And that'll bring up Ross Curley. Curley is 0 for 1, popped up to second to end the first.
Needs some sort of offensive generation of sort, a walk, an error, a base hit, something.
Strike 1, though, as Ross goes fishing at a pitch down and in.
In desperate need for some base runners here at the Blue Sox.
Yep. Karras has pitched well with the exception of that hiccup in the second. On the outside corner, strike 2.
A lot of calls where, big league zone, I don't know. Inner city league zone, yep.
0-2. Hansen winds and delivers. Grounder up the middle. Takes a funny hop on Cameron, but gets the play made anyway.
Kind of a charity hop there. Hit the lip, went right up towards his glove.
Usually when it hits the lip like that, it goes into left center field, but not so for Ross. A rare instance of the Blue Sox making contact there. Nothing's left the infield for him. Here's Julian Alvarez, who to this point is the Blue Sox only base runner. He walked on a 3-2 pitch leading off the second. And he lines this one into left field and down for a base hit. There's the first hit of the ball game for the Blue Sox. Alvarez has been aboard twice. And now here's Captain Clutch. Graham struck out swinging on a pitch that might have been up and in after an 8-pitch battle in the second.
King of Clutch, the old war horse, here he is. Daniel Graham.
Gomez in on the grass again. Up and away with a fastball, ball one.
Hanson better be extra careful here.
The pitch.
Ooh,
that was a pitch
missed.
to hit, and he got under it and fouled it off. That was right in his wheelhouse. Belt high right down the middle, and he got under it.
Oh, I'm sure he wishes he had that one back, Sam.
Tough break there for Grammer. If he's on that one, this game is tied.
Absolutely.
Alas, 1-1. Guess it's a consolation prize if you're still alive in the at-bat, but you might not get another pitch like that the rest of the at-bat.
Never mind the at-bat, but the game.
1-1 the count. Alvarez on first. Hanson comes set. The pitch. Misses upstairs. 2-1. Slipped out of his hands there. And we're going to have time called as we wait for this car, as usual, in the right field parking lot to turn their lights off. Two and 1 to Graham. And now Graham calls time again. Pretty big gap to right center.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like they're really playing him in a shift either. It's just that Ronke is relatively close to the right field line. He takes low, ball 3. Ronke really pulling them to pull then. Dorian Rojas on deck. Graham represents the tying run.
Full count.
3-1.
3-1.
The pitch on the outside corner. Full count, so Alvarez will be off with this pitch.
Very effective strike thrower is Hanson. His strikes are always nibbles. He's a nibbler.
So with Alvarez running, if he can get one into that right center field gap, that should bring him home. Payoff pitch. Here it is. And he lines this one right to the shortstop, Cameron, for the out that retires aside. The complete inverse of what we were hoping for there.
That'll do it for me tonight, Sam.
All right, Rob, thanks for joining us. See if you can get Mike Hart.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll send him over. Thank you very much.
All right, after 4 complete, still Royals 2, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. You can also subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. We go to the top of the fifth, and joining me now in the broadcast quote-unquote booth is Mike Hart, fresh off his season with the Hamilton Cardinals of the Intercounty Baseball League in Ontario. Mike, thanks for joining us, and it's good to see you back at center field again.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Jake Sintolo leading things off here on the top of the fifth. Matt Kerr still out there, and that's ball one. Sintolo is 1 for 2 with an RBI double. So Mike, from what you've seen thus far, what has gone wrong here for the Blue Sox, especially the offense?
Offensively, I mean, the guy's pitching a good game. He's mixing pitches. He's throwing that curveball for strikes, and he's getting some calls. We're putting some decent wood on, but we just got to get guys in scoring position and get them in.
3-0 though but from Karras to Sintolo. This is the complete opposite of what we've seen from the Blue Sox against the Royals this year. I mentioned, as that's down the middle, 4-1, 3-1. The Blue Sox put up their 3 highest single-game run totals of the season against the Royals. They scored 17 against them once and 13 against them twice.
Have they faced him yet?
We haven't. We faced Hansen for 1 inning, and that was in relief.
Yeah, he's playing a good game.
And Hansen's actually a former Blue Sox. Keep that in mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What year was that?
Last
year.
Was he with us last year? I thought he was with us before that.
I was here 2 years ago. I didn't play with him.
Okay. So leadoff walk for Sintolo, and that brings up Sean Cameron, who walked, stole second, and grounded out to third thus far.
Need a 2-ball here.
He gets the bunt down. It'll be fielded by Rojas. It's going to be a tough play, and Russo covers the bag for the out. Well, it's a successful sacrifice, 3-4, although Somerville feels it should be first and second, still nobody out. But great reaction there by Russo. That was a great bunt, too, by Cameron.
He almost had it.
So that'll bring up John Collette. Was hit by a pitch in the first, doubled in the third. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 4 men left for the Royals. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left for the Blue Sox. As that misses inside for ball 1. So since we haven't heard from you in a while, how'd you get signed by the Cardinals?
I was supposed to play up in Moncton, which is in New Brunswick. But
this is grounded to the left side. Diving stop by Silvestro. It kicks off his glove, but if nothing else, it prevents Sintolo from advancing.
So I was supposed to play up in Moncton, but I had a couple guys talking to me to play out in Toronto, and I heard of a good league, and they just contacted me off a website, and I have all my stats up on overseas.com, which is a job website for semi-pro players, and they picked me up. I had a tryout and basically played all season, 3-hitter in center field.
Must have been thrilling to play competitive baseball at that level.
It's fun. It's difficult. There's a lot of good arms out there, a lot of good talent. I'm just glad I got the opportunity to play in a different country and meet some new people.
Yeah.
Definitely miss living with the Blue Sox, though. Blue Sox family's always the same.
We miss you too. Although the offense has been doing fine for it without you this year, but tonight I think we could have used you. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-1. So, I know we talked about this for that paper I wrote for a college course, but I was interviewing you for after your MVP season 2 years ago. 1-1. As this is popped up, Gomez will pop up to the shortstop, Curley, and there are 2 down. But probably the most memorable moment of your career was obviously the game-tying home run off of Jared Frenny in the saga that was Game 3 of the championship series 2 years ago. For those of the viewers who haven't seen the article that was posted on LSP, tell us what was going through your mind in that game and in that at bat facing Frenny, who was peak Frenny basically coming off short rest and everything.
Yeah, he had a 3. Well, the thing was we didn't play that Sunday.
Yeah. popped up. All right. Well, we won't go to commercial. Go ahead and talk about it as the side is retired.
Yeah, that game 3 was crazy because we lost. We were down in what was it, the 6th?
Yeah, we were up like 9-5. We were we were up 4, then we found ourselves down 4.
Yep.
So quickly.
And the sprinklers came on, and we didn't get the next game in, and then the next day. So Frenny had 3 days rest. So I think he pitched the first game, and he got to come back in, and he was throwing hard. For me, there was 2 outs. I think Kyle 80 drove in the first run that inning, and we were down 2. And I got 2 strikes on me, and I choked up. And honestly, I was just trying to put the ball in play, and I hit it oppo to left, and it just kept going.
There was that one pitch in that at bat where you were. Where you fouled it off straight back, you were right on that.
Yeah.
That was the pitch you wanted, and you know when something like that happens, you know the common baseball knowledge is you're not going to get anything like that the rest of the at bat, and yet
For sure.
you did.
Yes, I think it was 0-2, and I was looking slider honestly, and he came back with a high fastball, and I got lucky and I put one over the fence. I remember grounding first base and just seeing the outfielder just keep trailing back and back and back, and I basically blacked out from first to home. I don't remember anything after that.
Well, good thing you didn't black out so much that you missed any of the bases. That would have
Exactly.
that would have been backbreaking.
Yeah.
But it was just.
I might have broke Karras's hand rounding third on the high five. I swear. I was real fired up.
Well, in that case, good thing you didn't break. It's actually kind of a good thing that Rick got ejected, so he didn't break his hand.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, that was probably the wildest game I've ever seen in any sport at any level in my career. And what I said on the broadcast was, it's one of the best games you'll ever see in the Intercity League or any league.
Oh, for sure. That was one of the best games I've ever played in. I still watch the video that Matt Kia, one of our former pitchers, played and made for us, and it was just insane. It's fun to watch. Any game that's won on a sacrifice bunt.
Not even a sacrifice.
Yeah,
a
suicide squeeze.
The biggest
bunt.
little hit of Sway's life.
Yep. Any game like that, I mean, it's got to be up in the books.
Ball 1 to Dorian Rojas as he is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Julian Alvarez has reached base twice for the Blue Sox, and everybody else is 0 for, but Alvarez is ahead 2-0 here. We were talking about, I was talking with Rob about how, against a guy like Hansen who's pitching on 3 days rest, you want to get the pitch count up, and we did that in the second, but not so much in the third or the fourth. But now it's 3-0 to Dorian. So is that? But he's been getting ahead of hitters. So what do you do as a hitter when your backs are against the wall like this?
Well, it's tough here because you only seen this guy once almost so far, maybe second time around. So you want to make sure you're seeing all his pitches. When you're not up at the plate, you want to know what he's coming with. I know with a lot of the righties, he's throwing a lot of that curveball, which has almost 2 depths to it. So I'd be sitting on one special pitch, especially 3-1 here.
3-1 to Dorian.
And
he grounds this one to the left side. Diving stop by the shortstop. Cameron fires, not in time, and that kicks off of Rojas, and what Bruce was saying, it's a break for the Royals because that doesn't hit Dorian. That goes out of play, and Dorian's at second base.
Be interesting if they try and sacrifice here.
And it's Justin Silvestro at bat. Usually a good RBI producer, but in this situation, I wouldn't be surprised to see him sack, especially when you got Thomas Russo on deck.
Yep. He's been swinging the bat pretty well, right?
Russo, yeah, but actually he was out for about a month while he was playing with the Hyannis Arborhawks on the Cape.
Good for him.
As we have a stoppage of play, and that ball might have hit Dorian hard enough that he needs to be looked at by Rick DeAngelis, but looks like he's okay. So, he's going to take a practice run off of first, and I don't know, it's a little awkward looking.
I know he just came back off of a torn ankle, or he rolled his ankle a couple weeks ago, so he's probably feeling that.
So here's Justin Silvestro, and there you see Wagner Gomez, the third baseman, in on the grass, anticipating the bunt. He does not bunt, and it's picked up by the first baseman, McConville, but he throws it away, and Rojas is on his way to third.
That's a break.
Wow! Should have been a tailor-made 3-6-3 double play. Instead, it's first and third, nobody out. Well, there's the break we were talking about that Blue Sox didn't get the first time. Fielder's choice E3. And now the tying run on first for Thomas Russo. Russo's been a great hitter, but last year did not have an extra base hit, but this year he's had 4 doubles. So let's see.
Pop to his swing.
Hasn't cleared the fence yet, but a double would be fine right here. Up and away, ball 1. Russo popped up to the pitcher, Hansen, behind the mound. His first time up in the third. Takes down and in, 2-0. You let him swing here?
2-0?
2-0.
Oh, for sure. I want him swinging.
Throw over to first, stand back diving is Silvestro.
He gets a fastball here. He used to drive it. Even a sac fly I'd take right now. He needs to get this run in.
Rojas at third, Silvestro at first. A single and an error in this inning. Little inside-out swing into left field. I don't think it's deep enough to score. Well, it is going to be deep enough to score Dorian as the catch is made and it's cut off by the third baseman Gomez. It looked like it was going to be shallower than it was off the bat.
Did his job there. Cut it in half.
So it's 2-1 now as Russo gets the sac fly. And now that'll bring up John Puttress.
Silvestro have any stolen bases this year?
I will look in a second after I update the graphics. Silvestro back over to first. Silvestro has not attempted a stolen base this year. Was only 1 for 1 in stolen bases last year.
That's what we call a base clogger.
Upstairs for ball 1. Putty struck out swinging on 3 pitches. His first time up in the third. Blue Sox getting their first run of the ball game here, kind of lead to 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. And now Putty smokes this one to the shortstop, to second for 1, on to first! Double play as James McConville makes the stretch at first, and the side is retired. Josue Feliciano protesting his case at first, but to no avail. He thought McConville was off the bag. So a big double play there, 6-4-3. The side is retired. Blue Sox get 1, but after 5, Royals 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You're done? No. Okay, no, just push the button here. One second. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. You can unmute now. Top of the 6th, as James McConville will lead things off. McConville is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. And he takes down and away ball 1. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Still 1-0 Reading in the 6th over Andre, as that's fouled towards the first base bleachers, and it's 1-2. But how about that? Like, both lower seeds winning their first round series. I don't know if that's ever happened in the ICL since 2006, as that's down and away 2-2.
I heard Danny Graham hit a go-ahead home run to clinch the bye.
Yeah, against Somerville, I believe. In there for strike 3. Oh, strike 3 as there's one down. Actually, it was Graham hitting a game-tying home run against Watertown at the end of the season to clinch the bye, but eventually the Blue Sox walked off with that victory, 3-2. McConville down on strikes, and here's Adam Johnson, 0 for 2, and he fouls this one, and a great leaping catch there in front of the Blue Sox dugout by Josue Feliciano. Inside, ball 1. Popped up, out of play, 1-2.
That's quieted down since the second inning, that's for sure.
So, from as an observer, Matt looks like he's in a whole other level of focus, as this is grounded right back to Matt, and he flips over to first for the out.
Yeah, he was missing middle.
He's on a whole another level of focus and intensity in the postseason. Can you attest to that as having been his teammate for 2 years?
Oh yeah, he's always been a warrior on the mound. He always gets game 1 and he always shoves. First 2 innings, he left the ball over the plate, but ever since there, he's really settled down and put these guys away.
Yeah, just the hiccup in the second inning, the 2 runs. Blue Sox got 1 back last half inning in the bottom of the 5th, but they still trail 2-1 against Soren Hansen, who's been pitching his mind out for most of the ball game. Here's Luke Ronke, 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored. 3 doubles in the game for the Royals as they look to steal game 1 on the road against the Blue Sox for the 2nd consecutive year. Albeit this is a best of 5 and last year was a best of 3. And then, of course, Drew Lienhoutz threw that no-hitter at the, as that's a strike, although it's dropped by Putty, 1-1.
Has Vigers been around at all?
Vigers has been around, yes. He's been catching, playing the outfield, and playing first base.
Nice. He's a great bat to have in your lineup. I swear he can get a hit whenever he wants.
Chop to short. Curley, strong throw.
Nice play.
In time for the out that retires the side. Blue Sox down to their final 6 outs, but they only need 1 run to tie it. We go to the bottom of the 6th with Jeff Costello, the ICL batting champ, leading things off. Royals 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Here's Jeff Costello, and this is the part of the order you want to lead off this part of the game when you need a rally. You got two of the fastest men in the league leading off in Costello and Barboza.
Barboza's an animal. He played Double-A, I think, for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Costello 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Upstairs for ball 1. Costello has been frozen on strike 3 both times by a front door curveball, that big looping curveball by Hansen.
Strikes out his eyes and goes right to the glove.
Down and away, 2-0. Although the craziest curveball I think Hansen has thrown tonight was the one that walked Alvarez. It went over his head but almost came back into the zone. That was just insane.
They wanted that call.
Fouled off, and it's 2-1.
Got his fastball there. See if he comes back another one.
So Costello likely to be Rookie of the Year and also in the MVP conversation for the Intercity League.
Ichiro-esque.
Fred Lynn-esque for a local example. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. And let's see if he breaks out the hook on the front door again here.
I'd throw it.
That's not an Andre cap, is it? No, okay, it's a UMass cap. 2-2. And time is called by Costello. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left for the Blue Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 errors, 6 men left for the Royals. Hansen winds and delivers. And he smokes this one into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Tying run aboard to begin the bottom of the 6th.
Looks like he shook off a curveball to go to a fastball there. Helped us out.
I was asking Rob this, but he's a pitcher. But when you face a pitcher who's a slow worker and also has a slow delivery, like Hansen, what is your approach at the plate? Because like you just want, because I'm sure like you want to wait on a ball and just crush it, but also you can't get too full because like the fastball will look faster and catch you by surprise.
Yeah, there's 2 things I do. First thing is in the box before I even get up, I make sure I'm timing him perfectly every single pitch. So when I get up there, I'm ready. I also move up in the box. That takes away any low pitches or any low break, and I can get that fastball that I want.
Barboza offers at it for strike 1. You know, this is technically a sacrifice situation, but I don't know. You could have Costello run, and then you could sacrifice him over to third, and even then, Barboza with his wheels could beat it out.
Yeah, a fake bunt steal here would work well.
Costello had 13 steals in the regular season.
He's going.
He goes. The pitch is inside, uncontested.
Needs to do a job here.
Bunt still on here.
With his speed, I'd put a bunt on, but all he's got to do really is hit it to the right side now.
Corner infielders in. Costello with the stolen base. I've seen a couple times Blue Sox Bears get insane leads on these pitchers.
No one wants to throw it away.
Oh.
They get afraid.
The pitch. Now he pops up the bunt, but it gets over the screen. So no Barboza. Now Barboza will be forced to hit.
Now all he's looking for is to put it on the right side, advance him over to third. Be interesting if he throws a curveball here against this lefty.
Into right center field and down for a base hit. Being waved around third is Costello. Barboza takes a wide turn at first, holds at first. This game is tied.
It's a great piece of hitting right there. Looking to hit it to the right side, put it right over the second baseman's head.
Barboza struggled at the plate the first part of the year, but like I said, has really come on in the last part of the regular season, and now into the postseason gets the game-tying RBI in the bottom of the sixth. On a 1-2 count, no less.
Think they'll bunt him over? I think he's going to take the base himself.
Well, with Ross, I think he's going to run first. I mean,
Yeah,
Ross is obviously a
run.
proficient hitter. He can drive him in himself, but I think with Barboza being probably as fast as Kyle Levine, if not faster, I think you're going to see him run first.
I think they're going to take a shot, too.
I mean, Costello got such a good jump on Hansen. Shudder to think what kind of jump Barboza can get on him. Here's Ross, 0 for 2 with a pop-up to second and a ground out to short. Runner goes, the pitch is taken for a strike, throw down to second, is not in time!
Good job by Ross, not to swing there. Fastball right down the middle. Now he's in scoring position.
Second stolen base of the inning. This is exactly what I was talking about. You got the two speedsters at the top of the lineup, and now here come the run producers. Curley with an 0-1 count.
Even Ross swinging the bat well, I wouldn't even mind a bunt here.
Rick will bat with whoever in the lineup he needs to. Breaking ball, drops into the top of the zone for strike two. It's almost like an Ephus pitch, that curveball that
That's what I'm
Hansen.
thinking, almost like a pop-up he's throwing. I think starts with the eyes and just falls right in.
And like, you want to wait back and crush that, but you think it's going to land high and then strike two.
The thing is, if you overswing there, you're just going to pop it up.
Foul the other way, and it remains 0-2. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. Costello's home with the tying run. Barboza represents the go-ahead run at second. But if the Blue Sox are to take the lead, they got to get more than just one ahead, because the Royals, second best hitting team in the league, behind the Blue Sox, you know, they can string something together.
For sure.
The Royals have Valdario, Santolo, and Cannon due up in the top of the seventh. Swing and a miss, strike three. Hansen with another strikeout. He's got 9, and there's 1 down.
It's a big out for him.
That'll bring up Julian Alvarez. He's been on base twice tonight. Walked in the second, singled in the fourth. This is grounded to the left side. Barboza's going to run. And advancing to third is Barboza on the G6. Alvarez is retired for the first time. And now here's Captain Clutch. Graham, of course, with the litany of clutch hits in the postseason, and even in the regular season this year. Wants to race his 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line out to short.
Grandpa Grams. Mr. Consistent.
Low for ball 1. Got tied up on strike 3 in the second. That was a pitch up and in.
I think he's only seen 1 curveball so far. He's sticking that to the righties. Lefties is probably going to stay with changeups.
Checked his swing, but it's a strike, 1-1. There's that fastball.
Be interesting to see if Karras goes back in.
Kevin Scanlon has been warming for a while, but he's not warming right now. Right now it's Jeff Blout. Popped up.
That might be trouble.
Into shallow center. And it's dropped! It's dropped by the shortstop, Cameron! Barboza scores, and the Blue Sox have the lead.
Couple errors this inning, couple runs.
Unbelievable. Second error of the inning. Blue Sox have the lead. And Dorian pops this one up into foul territory. And just barely able to stay with that one is the first baseman, McConville. The side is retired, but the Blue Sox score 2, including 1 unearned. We go to the top of the 7th. Closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 3, Royals 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. 1 LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games. Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. All right, defensive changes for the Blue Sox as we enter the top of the 7th. Josue Feliciano is in left for Julian Alvarez. Chris Ruocco is now at second for Thomas Russo. And now pitching is Jeff Blout, as the Blue Sox score 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to take the lead and try to close out Game 1 at home.
Become a regular thing in the last bottom half of the 7th, Sway going in for defense.
On the inside corner for strike 1. Same with Ruocco going in into some infield position for defense as Valdario takes strike 1. Valdario has grounded out to short and struck out looking. This is lined into right field for a base hit, tying run aboard for the Royals. Blout 1-1 with 1 save in 6 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. He took the loss in the game that was resumed last week against Andre, allowing 4 hits and 3 runs in 1 inning. And that was the game the Blue Sox were leading 2-1 in the top of the 7th. So the lineup turns over for Jake Sintolo, 1 for 2 with a double and a walk.
The bunt.
Throw down to second, double clutch by Putty, and the ball gets away from Curley into center field, and now the tying run is in scoring position.
Little fake bunt steal there. They might actually bunt here.
And now time is called. Blount made one appearance against Somerville this year, went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 2. So Blount finding himself in a dangerously similar position to that Andre game. It was back on June 29th, and that resumed, it was completed last week.
They just got to make sure they're getting out on this bunt. Should be going to first base here.
Time is called by Sintolo. Blount comes set. Throw over to second, and they nearly got him, but the throw was low. Valdario was way off of second there.
Looking to get a good jump off this bunt.
He's swinging, and he pops it into foul territory down the right side, and it is out of play for strike 2.
Wow, that's shocking to me. Must have some confidence in his bat here.
The 0-2. Down and away, gets away from Puttress. And now the tying run at third. And now the entire infield is going to come in for this conference.
Did you call that a pass ball or wild pitch?
That was a wild pitch.
It's a tough ball to get to. Not a bad 0-2 pitch, though.
So Blount really needs to strike out Sintolo here.
Infield's in. Yeah, strikeout would be huge.
1-2 the count. Tying run at third. Top of the 7th. Blount comes set. The pitch. Misses inside, 2-2. The line on Matt Karras, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit batsman, 76 pitches, 48 for strikes. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down. Would you walk Cameron here to get to Collette and set up the double play? Well, Collette is the second leading hitter in the ICL. Probably not what you want to do there. And then you have Gomez behind him.
You really can't put the winning run on base here.
This is a broken back grounder to third. Silvestro throws home. They got him.
Nice play. He came in hard at the plate. Putty hung on.
James McConville out there to plead his case, saying that was an illegal block of the plate, but A great play there by Justin Silvestro. Well, we have 2 umpires here, so they're going to confer.
I think he's just doing this to answer the visitor's chance. He knows what the call is.
Yeah, he's out. So, a huge play there by Silvestro. And we have an ejection here. I'm not sure. Was that McConville who was ejected? So, John Collette, who has not been retired tonight, is the last chance for the Royals. Now, Feliciano chirping from left field. I didn't hear what he said, but...
Wasn't pleasant.
No. So here's John Collette, hit by a pitch, doubled and singled. Blout comes set. Cameron on first, he runs, pitches down away, gets away from Puttress, and it'll be a stolen base. And now the tying run in scoring position once again. Still on the edge of your seat here. Runner back in scoring position, 1-0 to Collette. Again, the second leading hitter in the ICL behind Costello. He fouls this one off, and it's 1-1.
Aggressive swing.
This has been the most competitive of the games between these two teams this season. 1-1 to Collette, and you got the power hitter, switch hitter Wagner Gomez due up next. The 1-1. Popped up, foul, out of play, strike 2. What's the pitch call here if you're putty?
You got to get the ball dirty, but you got to make sure it's not a pass ball.
Or a wild pitch for that
Or
matter.
a wild pitch, yeah. I get a curveball down, but you might see a fastball in the way he's swinging it. Got jammed on the last one, fouled it back to the right side.
See if you can get him to go halfway.
I'm thinking just try and break his bat. He's probably looking away here. Didn't choke up.
The 1-2. Fouled straight back. Collette was asking for time, didn't get it.
Probably needs to give some fake shakes here. Make the hitter guess.
Collette had 1 homer, 14 RBIs, and 7 doubles this season. Up and in, 2-2.
Might be a setup pitch there.
Against the Blue Sox this year, Collette was 4 for 12 with a double and 1 RBI. 2-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the ball game is over.
That's a great pitch. Set him up with a high fastball, went away with the slider away.
So, in a game that took 1 hour and 47 minutes with a very exciting last 2 half innings, the winning pitcher is Matt Karras. The losing pitcher is Soren Hansen. He fought, and his postseason record, 1 second, is now 1-1, and the save goes to Jeff Blout. The final totals for the Somerville Royals: 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and 7 men left. And for the Lexington Blue Sox, 3 runs, just 4 hits, no errors, and 3 men left. Our players of the game are Matt Karras, 6 innings, just allowed 5 hits and 2 runs, both those runs in the second inning. And Jeff Costello and Aaron Barboza, that huge play in center field, that diving catch to end an inning, and drove home the tying run and scored the winning run in the bottom of the sixth. So with the win, the Blue Sox take a 1-0 lead in the 2017 ICL semifinals. Game 2 tomorrow night at Trump Field in Somerville. Mike, you going to be there?
I'm going to try and make it.
Will I see you up at the press box?
I'll definitely be here for Game 3 at home in Lexington. We'll see if I make it tomorrow.
All right. Well, if we see it tomorrow, I hope to have you join me.
All right. Appreciate it.
An exciting game to kick off the ICL semifinals for the Blue Sox, and this is a playoff caliber win that the Blue Sox have to win regularly, not like all those blowouts they had in that big winning streak they had. So, with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2017, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball and LSP continues tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox travel to Trump Field to take on the Somerville Royals in Game 2 of the ICL semifinals. Watch live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel. Be sure to follow LSP on the web, www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, Twitter at LSP37, subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel, and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Once again, the final score from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. The Blue Sox defeat the Somerville Royals 3-2 and take a 1-0 lead in the ICL semifinals. My name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in.